Obviously FA Cup this week, Adam, but let's start off by looking back at last week at Halifax. What a way to finish. What sort of reaction have you had from the players this week?
Unbelievable game, and to score 2 goals in front of the following that we took was incredible. And yeah, we give the lads a couple of days off after that, because they exerted a lot of energy into the week, 3 big games in a week. But yeah, come back in, and then it was all focus on Wycombe really. Like normal, nothing really changed too much, and obviously we've got now a great cup tie to look forward to.
And when it is a cup tie, when it is the FA Cup, do you approach it in any way differently at all?
Not really. Obviously we pay huge respect to our opponents. They're on an unbelievable run, flying high in League One, got some real firepower, so we've got to be wary of that, of course, but at the same time, we're on a good run ourselves, and we want to just focus on what we can do and what we can bring to the game.
How much of when I say a test, it's always going to be a test, isn't it, because there are a couple of divisions higher, but the form your side is in at the moment, is it a test of maybe how good you actually are at the moment?
Yes, it's a great test, one that we feel we're ready for. We want to pit ourselves against some good opposition, and at the moment, at this level, at this stage of the FA Cup, there's probably not a tougher game that you can come up against. Birmingham and Wrexham aside, Wycombe arguably the informed team in the league. Yeah, like we say, we're under no illusions. It's going to be a real tough afternoon, but one that we feel we're ready for as well. We want to pit ourselves against the best and see where we are. We're going to need a lot of luck and us to be at our best to even compete. But that's the challenge. We've looked forward to all the challenges that we've come across so far, and we look forward to this one.
From your point of view, a club that you certainly used to know well, finishing your career there, have you still got any affinity at all with Wycombe?
Not really. Like I say, I finished my career there. It was probably a bittersweet part of my career. I was made club captain in January, and we got relegated, and I didn't really contribute as much as I wanted to. One of the darkest days, other than Yorkshire in my football career, was seeing the team get relegated at Leyton Orient, and I was just sat in the stands and couldn't really contribute, and it was tough. So, yeah, obviously had a great time there. Lovely people. They couldn't do enough for you as a player. Look forward to go back and seeing blooms and some familiar faces. But yeah, just a shame that I didn't really get to contribute as much as I wanted to as a player.
Obviously going back with the York City hat on this time, and that will be your focus, getting through to the next round. So let's look at your team. Firstly, generally, selection-wise, with it being the FA Cup, are you looking to maybe change things at all?
Well, been a bit surprised by what last week's took out the players. There's 1 or 2 still not being able to train fully. We've had to really balance our training load this week. There's players that are still feeling their hamstrings and calves and stuff, and Kev, our masseuse, has been very busy earning his money. But yeah, we obviously want to go and give a good account of ourselves. At the same time, it is an opportunity to potentially look at the load of 1 or 2 players. The focus has to be the bread and butter of Hartlepool in a week's time, but at the same time we don't want to go there and we still want to be competitive and try our utmost to get through to the next round. So it's just getting that balance right. There'll be players that it's probably come a bit too early for that need a rest, and there's players that are ready to go, but at the same time we won't use it as any excuses. We want to go and be competitive.
Did last week, as well as physically, did it have any mental effects? Because I would imagine the euphoria at the end of a win like that must take its toll to some degree.
Yeah, potentially. I think the Barnet game in particular, looking back on the load and the amount that we run in that game, definitely took it out of the players' legs. But like you say, it can do. There was lots of highs, a few lows when we was playing against Halifax, but for the week to finish like it did, it was a real tough week, and to come through it with 9 points is a massive high. And we just got to stay focused and try and use a bit of the momentum that we've gained last week and try and pour it into this Saturday.
So as far as your squad goes, your loan players, have you got any of those available? Are they able to play for you in the FA Cup?
Yeah, everyone's available to play, which is a real bonus for us. The only one absentee is Mo Fadira, who's obviously cup tied. But other than that, full complement to choose from. So very grateful to Cardiff and Leeds for allowing Luca and Malachi to be available. We're going to need every player available to us. I think looking at the injuries, we're going to do well to load 9 on the bench that you can have this week. Like I say, there'll be no excuses from our point of view. We'll go there fully focused and, like I say, do our utmost to try and compete.
Let's look at the injuries. Firstly, if we can ask about Marvin Armstrong, went off last week. Was that tactical? Was he okay? Was it a problem? No,
he's one that's been struggling. The fatigue from Barnet. He said he probably felt 75%, but obviously he wouldn't tell me that before the game. So he tried his best to get through it, but you could tell that with Marv, he was playing a little bit below par. And like I said, in any National League fixture, you can't afford to have players that are not fully focused and fully prepared physically as well. And he obviously felt his hamstring. Tyson Clare still feeling his hamstrings. This is a couple of decisions to make, but we're hoping by Friday we'll know a lot more on those lads. And Ryan Fallafield's another one as well that took a bit of a bang to his knee. Hasn't really featured in training all week. So there's one or two that are getting patched up, shall we say, and I'm sure they'll all want to be available for a great cup fixture this weekend.
Is it too soon for Cameron John? Was it HIA, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the concussion protocol, he's still feeling symptoms. It's still a couple of days ago, so he's definitely going to miss this Saturday. Should be available for Hartlepool, providing between now and then he obviously doesn't show any symptoms. So we've got to take the right protocol procedures for concussion. It's not something that you can... it's there. The guidelines are there for you, so you can't mess about with those. So, he's going to be unavailable this weekend, unfortunately. Probably come a bit too soon for Crooksey. He'll hopefully feature in a game against Bradford on Tuesday, which would be good to get him some minutes. But other than that, we're hoping everyone else will be ready to go.
Have you got a headache this week at keeper? Obviously, Harrison Mill doing well last week.
Yeah, it is. I've had conversation with Rory. Harrison's done so well in recent weeks, and Rory's on the back of 2 clean sheets, so it is a headache, but it's the kind of headaches that you want as a manager. There's those kind of headaches throughout the squad. Dippo is back training again today, so he'll be pushing for a starting place, and like I say, Ty's feeling his hamstrings, but he'll be desperate to start and get a bit of momentum. Ashley, Nathaniel, George, British Chadwick. So there's real competition for places all over the park at the moment, which is the kind of headaches that you want.
And is it a question then of finding that balance? You said about the bread and butter of the league being obviously got to be your priority overall. Is it a case of finding that balance with what you do with your players this weekend, and who you give a chance to have a crack at Wycombe, and who you've got in mind really to carry on with that league campaign? Yeah,
it is. And like I see, seeing how on Friday all the players have responded to training this week, and the rest and stuff like that. So there's still big question marks over 1 or 2. But I'm sure we'll get the balance right, and we want to go and give a good account of ourselves. We know it's a real tough task, I keep saying, but at the same time it's one for us to enjoy, and we want to be up in this level sooner rather than later. So it's a great opportunity for us all to test ourselves and see where we are.
And I'm guessing you wouldn't turn down that place in the draw in the second round, would you?
Certainly wouldn't. No, that's going to be the task. That's going to be the challenge. We want to try and get in that draw, and then you're obviously one step closer to the potential of a glamour tie in the third round, but I'm sure Wycombe will want the same as well. They'll want to have a nice cup run, and they'll see York at home as a potential for them to go further in the competition as well. Thank you.
Hi Adam.
Hiya.
A win on Saturday, and I think amid all of the celebrations and everything like that, the sort of performance kind of got forgotten about a little bit. So in that second half there was a period where Halifax were in control. Have you sort of spoken to your players and identified what sort of went wrong there?
No, I thought it was like a good performance. First half was very good. They probably had one clear-cut chance. We had probably a few. Second half, a lot got made of them, but I think it was just our sloppy play, really. They changed their shape slightly. I think all the chances they had, I think Harrison was relatively comfortable with the chances. Malachi probably has the best chance in the half. So yeah, I think again it's a testament to how far the club's come. Probably one half where we didn't have control, but I think that's more down to us being a bit sloppy and looked a bit tired. And we probably didn't have the squad and the changes to be able to adapt to that on the day. But when you're not at your best, you've got to keep going and show another side and how to win a game of football. So that side of it's really pleasing. We're going to have games where we don't have control, and there hasn't been too many times this season where I've watched a York team play and felt we haven't controlled it. So that's not bad for 16 games. So obviously there's areas that we can improve on. I think we were sloppy at times, but in the main you've got to give credit to the players because they kept going and found a way to win the game of football.
Yeah, I mean that spirit to get 2 goals in stoppage time and come from behind to get the win in a derby as well. That's got to be incredible. I know we talk about it a lot, but that's got to be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. Like we talk about, we want to control, we want to have good possession, we want to play pretty football, but ultimately you need that still as well, and you need that grit, that determination, that togetherness to win games of football, and you know, for the lads to show that and win another way. Like I say, we probably had chances to be ahead in the game first half, didn't take them. And it looked like the game was getting away from us, and we battled back and showed real resolve. So to have that in the group and to have that in your armour is probably more important than anything.
We turn our attention now to the FA Cup. I think the last press conference prior to an FA Cup, it was Gabriel who took it. So I was just wondering, what are your sort of memories of your playing career during the FA Cup?
I remember a big win at the Withdean for Brighton. I think it was 6 or 7 against like Northwich Victoria, which obviously was really quite special. 21st birthday played at White Hart Lane, which was a very special, very few moons ago now, so it's hard to remember it. But yeah, we managed to take them, and then Robbie Keane pops up with a absolute worldie goal on the day. But obviously great memories playing against Spurs in the third round, big following from Brighton. So yeah, a few nice memories. And yeah, on that day, similar to what we need on Saturday, you need a little bit of luck, and you need Robbie Keane's shot not to fly in the top corner and fly just over, and then you're in the game, which we definitely were on the day. But yeah, we're going to need that little bit of luck on Saturday. But there will be an upset, no doubt about it, this weekend, and we're hoping that can be us.
And I think a lot of people see the FA Cup now, it's been sort of dented by the takeaway of replays. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it's a bit more guided towards the Premier League clubs and their fixture schedule. But it is full on for them. Their players go straight from having an international break, but the top players are playing twice a week there as well. So it is full on for their schedule. We'd all love to have a replay if we was to draw against Wycombe and bring them back here. It's not to be, so can't worry too much about it. Just try to control what you can control, and it's above my head trying to get involved in what happens in replays in the FA Cup, unfortunately.
Because of the difference in the leagues with the two sides, you've sort of received a underdog label for this match. Do you think that will suit your side?
Hoping so. Yeah, listen, they're flying high. They've got unbelievable firepower. If you give the ball away and you're half cheaply, like we did against Halifax, they will punish you, and that's our challenge. Yeah, like I say, there's been so many underdog stories throughout the FA Cup, and we've got to look at those, and we're hoping that Wycombe maybe have an off day, don't quite take their chances, and we've got to be ready to take the chances. But great test, a great place to go and play. I thoroughly enjoyed my time playing at Adams Park, and I'm sure we'll have a full house there, so it'll be a really good atmosphere, and we're hoping that we can give a good account of ourselves.
And it'll be an opportunity for you to catch up with Matt Bloomfield as well, who I believe you played with. Well,
yeah, played with Bloom's, great, one of football's great characters. So delighted to see him doing so well. He's got an unbelievable squad together, and yeah, picked up well from the job that Gareth Ainsworth's done, and brought in his own players, put his own mark on how he wants it to look at Wycombe, and done a phenomenal job so far. So yeah, it'd be great to speak to him, and like I say, one of football's good guys, so really looking forward to it.
Are Wycombe a club that you sort of hold close to your heart because of the support that they gave you during your knee injury?
Yeah, obviously, just remember as a player, couldn't do enough for us, made me, my family, all feel so welcome there. So yeah, it's a club that wherever I go, try to adopt a similar thing, and want the players that play for York to feel like the club can't do enough for them, and I'll always be grateful for my time there. I learnt a lot, and like I say, just such a shame that I couldn't contribute a bit more to helping them stay in League One at the time.
Last one for me, I just want to ask you about Jordan Garrick. Is he still on trial with the club?
Yeah, still on trial. We're hoping he'll be able to play in the game against Bradford on Tuesday. We'll have a good look at him. He's definitely getting fitter, you can see that, and sharper. So I think he'll be able to give a good account of himself on Tuesday, and then hoping we'll be able to make a decision from there.
Is there options for more trialists to come on and trial the club? Have you kind of always got your eyes open for any more players?
I think we've always got to, haven't you? I think as a club, we're always looking for where we can improve. We want to carry on improving where we can, and if Jordan does well and he's available, and it fits right for us as a club, then it's something that we'll be open to. And I'm sure if there's other players out there, and that's the situation, then we've got to be open to it.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Hi Adam.
Hiya.
The unbelievable scenes at the end at Halifax have gone viral on social media with the sheer amount of fans and the exuberance. Is it the sign of a good side when you probably weren't at your best and you could still nick a win?
Yeah, I mean, second half, I'll say we wasn't. I thought first half we played some really good stuff, got the ball in some good areas, wasn't clinical, and then, yeah, the game sort of maybe bypassed us a bit. I think there was a lot from our sloppy play that caused that. We looked tired. We looked like we had a real heavy game. There'd be no excuses, but yeah, I think when the game is like that and you're not particularly at your best, to keep on fighting and to keep on giving your all and not give up is so important, and so pleased that the player showed that.
And they talk about Fergie time. It was that, wasn't it? The 6 extra minutes, and you won it in that.
Yeah, it was. Like I say, I think top sides keep going. I think City won against Wolves recently in added time as well. So if it's good enough for the best teams in the world to do, then it's certainly good enough for us. And it's like I say, I'm really pleased with the character and togetherness, because you've got to keep going as a team, and we've definitely done that. We didn't give up, and it was nice to score from 2 set pieces.
Turning to Saturday, Richie Wellens, the Leyton Orient manager, his side were on the wrong end of a 3-0 defeat on Saturday. He said Wycombe were explosive, powerful, ruthless, and their strikers leant in and were hard to play against. It's going to be a challenge you haven't come across yet, isn't it?
It is, yeah, but one we'll certainly look forward to. After watching them, they are certainly all of that. really good in wide areas, score from a lot of crosses. So yeah, we know that we're going to have to defend and get a little bit of luck on the day. Goalkeeper's going to have to be at his best. At the same time, I think we got some bits of play and some good players that can hurt them as well. So yes, it's a game that we are completely the underdogs. Got nothing to lose really, and one that we'll just give our all and see where it takes us.
Is there a different feeling in the camp because it's the FA Cup? Do the players get it?
I don't think so. We try to keep everything the same. Not say that got real respect for the opposition, but we want to focus on what we can bring to the game as well. And that's something that we always focus on from week to week, what we can control. And this week will be no different. Like I say, they're scoring a lot of goals at the moment against good League One teams. So we know we're going to be up against it, but at the same time, we back ourselves, and it's a great challenge for us.
Yeah, I think their last home defeat was against Birmingham City. Moving on to the coffers, the money. What the FA have tried to do is give a little bit more money, and for the first time ever, they've given money to losers as well as to winners. Would it be better just to give all the money to winners and have 60,000 rather than 15,000 to losers? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Not really, but when you're going to Wycombe away, I think it's quite nice that you can come away with something if you are on the wrong side of a defeat. But yeah, I think they're trying to share it out a little bit. So I think again, they're trying to find a way without replays to try and help out both sides and both teams, which I think is good. Wycombe pick up a lot of the gate receipts and stuff, and then obviously if they were to win, pick up a little bit. We're hoping they receive the latter of those prize funds, but it's a great task. I think it shouldn't all be about the money in the FA Cup. It should be a little added bonus to get anything. The prestige of getting to the second round of the FA Cup should be enough for both teams.
Looking forward, youngsters Bill Marshall and Leon Gibson-Booth both scored in a loan spell, and they've been in the spotlight. The Premiership now are spending more than ever on academies and on education for their players. Do you foresee a time when there'll be a regular supply of academy graduates that can really play regularly in the first team at York? That's
definitely the challenge. Is it something that's going to happen overnight? Definitely not. But it's something that we're keen to happen. It's something that we had regular at my previous club. We had a lot of players come through and play in the first team, which was something that we wanted to try and create, and it's something that we want to try and generate here. It hasn't happened too often of late, but Bill and Leon are two examples of them going out on loan and really progressing their careers, and I think each level that they've stepped up to, they've done well, which has been good. You can see them improving from the start of the season, which is the important thing. And with these things, it takes time. It takes time to build and to get it right, and it's something as a club we're keen to explore as well.
Thanks and good luck.
No problem, cheers.
Adam, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Your experience of competing at the top end of tables, how does a cup run blend with that? Does it help you? Or does it hinder you?
If you speak to the Worthing fans, they say we never really had any cup runs, but it's not something that I put all my time into, but I wouldn't say that I wanted to get out the cups either at the same time. I want to have a good cup run. I think it can help momentum. The last thing you want when you're on the back of 3 wins is a hammering in the cup. So we want to go be competitive. We want to go and give a good account of ourselves, and we know that if we're at our best, it still might not be enough, but we know that we'll cause some problems as well.
It was a big leap for you, personal life, managerial career, when you made the jump in February. Is it living up to expectations?
Exactly that. I mean, over 6,000 on a Tuesday night, and over 2,000 fans following you away. that's you know what I come to York for, to be part of a big club, and you know, when you get that kind of following, you know that you're definitely on your way to what you made that journey for. Not only that, but you know, to be working full time with a squad day to day is you know, something that I've worked hard towards, and really enjoying it.
Are you ahead of the expectations you set for yourself?
I'd say so, if I'm being honest with myself, but the expectations that I set myself are so high. You know, I want every game to be 4-0. No, that's not going to happen, but you know, my wife always says, never say to Adam that you can't win them all, because he will tell you that you can. And that is true. You can win every game, can't you? Yeah, the expectation for myself that I set is so high. But if you would have given me, especially after Wycombe, that we'd be in this position 16 games into the next season, then we definitely would have took it. So, yeah, still more that we can improve on. Definitely, we're not going to rest on our laurels and get complacent. But you know, we want to still keep driving performances, still keep driving standards. I still want to see improvement in the squad and in individuals, and that's the challenge for us.
Is there a stage when you think to yourself, right, we're in a promotion battle now?
Yeah, probably mid-April if we're in this position. But you know, everything can happen. There's 3-4 defeats on the bounce, which can quite easily happen at this level. We're lucky to be on the right side of a few results lately, but you guys have all seen the games as well. They could have quite easily swung the other way. Saturday being a prime example. Harrison Mail made an unbelievable one-on-one save at 1-0 against Ebbsfleet. So that's how fine margins the games are. So like I say, it's 16 games in. We won't get carried away. If we're still up in these kind of positions heading towards April, then we'll start thinking a bit more about it then.
And just going back to you said 6,000 here on a Tuesday night. Even with your business head on, can you walk out into that stadium and pinch yourself and think, this is what I do it for?
No, yeah, that's exactly anyone sort of. I think there was about 5 or 6 places in the pyramid between Worthing and York when I first sort of moved here, and everyone said, you know, was it the right move? But when you see them kind of numbers and you see this place rocking, you know, that's what you want as a manager, and you want to test yourself at the highest level you possibly can, and definitely feel that that on Tuesday night and being here in front of a rocking crowd really challenges you as a manager.
I suppose it's a bit like the Manchester United situation. Everyone's saying someone's going to get it right there at some stage. Was that almost what you were coming into, almost a sleeping giant? Someone's going to get it right, it may as well be me.
Yeah, I probably didn't come and tell myself that, but I think the more you're around the place and you're in the city, you definitely feel that a bit more. Like everyone's been so welcoming after the first few weeks. When we started to get a few wins, everyone was a lot more welcoming, but no, everyone's been really nice, and you know, you definitely feel that is the case. If you get it right in this city, the whole place can lift off and go together, and I think we're starting to get there with that. It's nice to see some York City shirts being worn by the youngsters, still not as many. I was up in the gym the other day and there's a football camp on, and still not seeing enough York City shirts out there with the youngsters, so it's still a bit of a way for us to go, but you know, we definitely want to get there, and if we can start generating that, then you know, it could be something special here.
Thank you.
Thank you.